right. The Minister for Roads and Highways and MP for Bantama, Honorable Francis Asensubuachi, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, His Excellency Charles Oredu, and the incoming MP for Abrim constituency. The Deputy General Secretary of our party and the Deputy Campaign Manager for the 2024 campaign, Dr. Antoinette Chibu Dako. The Director of International Affairs, Mr. Kwame Mponsa-Stonach, the Chairman of the NPP South Africa branch, Mr. Jones Frimpong, Chairpersons of external branches, fellow crocodiles, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I join you here today in Johannesburg, South Africa, at the New Patriotic Parties International Conference to dialogue and deliberate about our great NPP party. Let me use this opportunity to commend the party, particularly NPP South Africa and the Director of International Affairs for making this conference possible. Events like this are particularly important because they bring our party together and to share ideas, mend our differences, and entrench the deeds that unite us. Even more important is the opportunity this year's conference affords us to strategize on breaking the eight. This year's elections presents a big challenge for our party. That is the quest and the ultimate desire to defy all the odds and break the eight. A feat that has never been chalked before in our nation's fourth republic. Fellow patriots, on November 4th, 2023, the members of our party took a bold and decisive decision by any other election. Every election comes with the contestation of ideas. It is characteristically a time for sharp contrasts on views and convictions. Even brothers may go separate ways during electoral contests. Therefore, you all know that after the 2020 elections, our seats reduced from 169 to 137. We lost so many seats. And I think that one of the lessons we learned was that we didn't pay sufficient attention to the parliamentary campaign. So what we are doing this time around is to have the mantra that we should seek ye first the parliamentary kingdom and all others shall be added. And this is why I have a deputy campaign manager who is specifically assigned to the parliamentary campaign in the person of Honorable Obi Amo. It is also, dear patriots, many of you in the diaspora have asked about your role in the campaign. The national campaign team comprises of the diaspora coordination team made up of Dr. Akesia Champong, Mponsa-Stonach, Obaya Frimpong, Richard Jemfi, Emmanuel Etefa, Danso, and Kingsley Ajima. Of course, I expect every external branch chairman to be part of this team. The purpose of this team is to bring to bear the exceptional, and there are exceptional talents in the diaspora, to coordinate plans and ideas from the diaspora, among other resources, to infuse them into the broader national campaign strategy and execution. I have no doubt that the team we have assembled will work extremely hard to make all diasporans feel a part of the campaign. The diasporans, as Dr. Kwesi Champong has said, the diaspora has been very, very key to the NPP and to our fortunes in every election. And I expect the diaspora to play a very critical role in the 2024 election. I am one of you. I am a diaspora myself, having lived over 20 years before coming back to Ghana. I know one of the concerns that has been expressed to me by various branches in the diaspora is that, by the grace of God, when we win, when I make appointments, I should make sure the appointments are spread all over the branches of the party, not just limited to a few branches. So I'm very aware that it is a concern, and I can assure you that there will be equity in appointments. Ladies and gentlemen, this campaign that we are entering into is essentially, when you look at it at the presidential level, it's essentially a choice that Ghanaians are going to make. And that choice is between Dr. Bawumia and former President John Dramani Mahama. That is the choice that is facing Ghanaians. So we have to campaign to make Ghanaians choose Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Why should Ghanaians choose Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia? Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana needs problem solvers. Ghana needs generational thinkers and people with innovative ideas. I am a problem solver and a generational thinker with innovative ideas. And I have a solid track record as a vice president to prove that. If you ask me as a vice president, with the support of the president, what problems I've been able to solve, what issues have I championed as vice president, I'll tell you that when we came into office, we did not have a unique national identification number. I championed the issuance of the Ghana card, and today 17.6 million Ghanaians have been issued with the card. Today, and just a couple of weeks ago, we have made it possible by the integration of the databases of the Ghana Health Service and the Births and Deaths Registry, and the National Identification Authority. We have now made it possible for children who are born at birth now, they will have Ghana card. And next month, we are going to start the registration of all school children onto the Ghana card. This is a major legacy we are leaving for Ghana. Yes. And all of you in the diaspora understand more than anybody else in Ghana the importance of the Ghana card. Today, when we came into office, students had problems with getting student loans because they needed guarantors. The Ghana card has made it needless to have a guarantor. You can get a student loan just with your Ghana card. When we came into office, we had no national address system. So I led effort to bring about the Ghana Digital Property Address System. Today, you cannot get lost in Ghana. You just ask for the digital address, and you will go to the place. And this is helping e-commerce in Ghana. When we came into office, it was not possible to transfer money from one mobile company to another. You couldn't transfer money from MTN to Vodafone. So we implemented mobile money interoperability, and you can transfer money from any telco to another telco. And not only that, today you can transfer money from a Momo wallet to a bank account. We are one of the few countries, and we were the first country in Africa to be able to achieve that level of mobile money interoperability between a bank account and a Momo wallet. Today, there's no difficulty. People used to queue for days just to renew their national health insurance or to enroll into national health insurance. We have made it possible for you to do so on your mobile phone. You don't need to go and queue, you don't need to take trot, you don't need to go and sleep outside the NHI office to renew your mobile phone, to renew your health insurance. Today, you can buy electricity credit for your home. Here in South Africa, if your house in Ghana needs credit, you can buy that credit from South Africa and they will top up on your home. Today, we have plugged the leakages at the ECG. When we came into office, ECG was earning revenue of around 450 million Ghana cedis every month. We put in a team there to digitalize their revenue collection. Today, they are collecting at least 1.2 billion Ghana cedis every month from 450 million. Today, we have seen that the bureaucracy that used to be there for the application of passports has reduced. We are able to apply for passports online, and this has really increased the revenue of the passport office. The clearance of goods at the ports has also been digitalized, and it has made the process very, very easy. The issue of fake insurance certificates for vehicles has now been dealt with the motor insurance database. You can just put in the car number into the USSD code. After dialing the USSD code, and it will tell you whether the vehicle is insured or not. So you cannot have fake insurance in Ghana today. You will be caught. We have also digitalized the operations of the DVLA and the registration processes for vehicles and made it very, very simple. Something that we have also done when you look at pharmacies in Ghana, we have now put all the pharmacies, so far as at yesterday, 1,762 pharmacies in Ghana on a common digital platform. We are going live for the national on April 2nd. Which will mean that if the doctor gives you a prescription, today you have to figure out which pharmacy has the medicine. You may go to 3 or 4 before finding out. You don't know how much it costs. But with the e-pharmacy platform now, from the 2nd of April, once the whole thing goes nationwide, when you upload your prescription onto the platform, you'll be told which pharmacy near you has the medicine. And then you will know what the prices of the different medicines at the different pharmacies are. So if you want to order from a pharmacy, you give them your digital address, pay with your mobile money or other, and they will deliver it at home for you. Ghana is got the first national scale e-pharmacy platform in the whole of Africa. we are number one. This is another problem we have solved. We have provided Wi-Fi to all the senior high schools, about 700 of them, in Ghana, free Wi-Fi. And on Monday, the president is going to launch one student, one laptop for all the senior high schools in Ghana. Because there was a problem. We want to teach the kids coding and other things. But if you don't have laptops, how do you teach them coding? How do you move to the next generation? These laptops, by the way, can work both offline and online. All the textbooks and reading materials are on the laptops, and they can be charged by solar, so that even in the villages, the students can do. And all 1.4 million senior high school students will each get a tablet. We have established the Ghana.gov platform because if you are looking for a government service, you have so many places to go. But on one platform, Ghana.gov, we have onboarded 1,018 MMDAs. So you don't have to sit down and travel around, take transport to go to different places. You can go on the Ghana.gov platform, apply for the service you want, pay for it, and then get it at that point. So you will have a lot more. I think there's a less bureaucracy in the process of getting government services. We have also had, when we came into office, only 4% of the adult population of Ghana had a tax identification number. Only 4%. We decided to make the Ghana card the national tax identification number. And when we made the Ghana card number the tax identification number, we increased the number of the proportion of the population with adult population with tax identification numbers from 4% to 85% today. We have also seen that birth certificates, fake birth certificates are now getting out of the way because of the digitalization of the birth and death registry. You've seen that we've tackled corruption by looking at reducing ghost workers at the Controller and Accountant General Department. We have cleaned, because of the unique Ghana card, there are no more any ghost workers at the Controller and Accountant General Department. No ghost workers at SNIT, no ghost workers at National Service Scheme. We've reduced corruption at the ports, at DVLA, Passport Office, NHIA, the Ghana.gov platform. Through all of these, we have reduced corruption. We've also introduced drones to deliver medicines in remote areas. The zipline drones are delivering medicines and blood and vaccines. In fact, when we had COVID, the drones were a lifesaver for Ghanaians. And we have 6 drone centers, and we are doing 100 flights a day from each center to deliver medicines across the country. And what is remarkable, and I'm so proud that the whole world, Ghana is the largest medical drone delivery service in the world. The whole world. And the drone centers are 100% manned by Ghanaians. All the flight operators, everything is 100% manned by Ghanaians. And we are very proud of these young men and women who are doing this job. We have also networked so far 300 hospitals in Ghana. So all the teaching hospitals, all the district hospitals, all the regional hospitals, and many others have all been networked. So to all your medical records, if you go to those hospitals, are digitalized. And you don't, if they transfer you from WA or Bolga or Tamale to Kumasi or Accra or Cape Coast, you don't need to take your folder. Just take your ID number and they'll put it in there and your medical records will show. And we have therefore done so far 300, and this year we'll do another 600 hospitals, and next year we'll complete the entire hospitals, clinics, polyclinics, everything. All medical records will be digitalized, and we will take this forward. We also did not have a vehicle for Zongo development, so we established the Zongo Development Fund. Sickle cell sufferers had problems getting access to a very important drug called hydroxyurea because it's very expensive. And we placed it on the National Health Insurance Scheme that is allowing sickle cell sufferers to get hydroxyurea for free. I also led the Gold for Oil program and the Gold Purchase program by the Bank of Ghana, and we have really supported our reserves and our currency. Another thing I did for all of you who travel into Ghana, you know that today when you arrive into Ghana, you don't have to fill any arrival forms, disembarkation forms, or when you are leaving, you don't have to, because we have digitalized the process and we made it very easy for you. Today, we have brought in the tap and go system. We are putting public transport under one common platform. So under the tap and go, which is currently being operationalized by the Metro Mass service, when you take the public transport, you just tap on it to deduct your fare, and that is it. You go on your way. We are using that for Ayalolo, STC, railways, VIP buses. We are putting the whole public transport on one platform. So no matter where you go, whether it's a taxi, whether it's a trotro, whether it's a bus, whether it's the railway, it's one platform, and we will know how all this is going. So that is another innovation that we have brought in. And we have also brought in the Go Ride service to help our local taxis. The local taxis were being obliterated by the Uber business. So we have built a platform for them, the Go Ride platform. So our local taxi businesses are also going to operate on a platform just like the Uber businesses. So these are some of the policies, some of the innovations, some of the initiatives that I have championed as Vice President. Now, if you ask that you are looking to choose between former President Mahama and Dr. Bawumia, you have to ask yourself, what policy initiatives did former President Mahama bring about when he was Vice President? Can you remember one? Just one initiative that he as Vice President brought about. So this is why most people are of the view that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been the most impactful Vice President in Ghana's history. If you look at former President Mahama, you know that he has been president before. He was, hasn't he?
Yes, yes.
But what was his record as president? He failed as president. Isn't it? Frankly, if you look at all the presidents in the Fourth Republic and look at the economic records, then you have to conclude, because the data will tell you that former President Mahama's tenure was probably the worst of all the presidents in the Fourth Republic. So he was rejected in 2016 and rejected again in 2020. So I think that it is not the time for Ghanaians to go back to failure. We have to look forward to success, and that is under Dr. Mahamudu. Because if Ghanaians are looking for change, then John Mahama doesn't represent change. He represents, he's a known quantity. He represents the past. I represent the future. There have not been precedent before. Another reason why Ghanaians should support Dr. Bawumia and the NPP is that I have a mindset of possibility. I always aim high. I'm always trying to do things that have not been done before. And many people think they are impossible. When I will say that I'm going to do these seemingly impossible things, those who think in terms of impossibilities are always skeptical. For example, when I talked about bringing drones, they said I was going to bring drones to take pictures of people, women in their bathroom. When I said that with the Ghana card, you can travel from abroad into Ghana from 44,000 airports in the world, they didn't believe me. But today, that is the case. When I talked about mobile money interoperability, making sure everybody in Ghana has a bank account, they didn't believe. But today, that is the case. They were skeptical about the digital address system, free Wi-Fi, hostels for Kaya, and all of that. But we have delivered that. These are people who did not believe in the free senior high. It was one of impossibility. But we said it is possible. It is possible. And we persevered. And we built the Boteman Stadium. We built the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And we have hosted a very successful African Games today. He thought teacher training allowances, he cancelled them. Nursing training allowances, he cancelled them. We came back and we have reinstated them and we have restored them. But we have made these impossible things possible. In Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, we need a leader who is committed to the fight against corruption. I have a solid track record in fighting corruption, even as Vice President. We have eliminated ghost workers, which were costing us a lot, and this is corruption. In Controller and Accountant General Slate and NS, the National Service. We've reduced corruption at the ports, at the DVLA, at the Passport Office, at the NHIA, at the ECG, motor insurance, and so on. So I have a track record. I can tell you if you ask me how I have helped to reduce corruption. But can John Mahama tell you how he reduced corruption? Can he give you one policy that he implemented to reduce corruption? He cannot. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a hard worker. I am not lazy. I will work hard for Ghanaians as a president. I am a compassionate leader. I care about the poor, the vulnerable, the persons with disabilities, the lepers, and the people with special needs. Available data, my brothers and sisters, fellow patriots, available data also shows that notwithstanding the challenging economy we inherited and the global economic crisis that ensued from COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine war, available data shows that our overall performance in areas like jobs, we've created 2.1 million jobs, the highest of any government in the Fourth Republic. GDP growth, agricultural growth, industry growth, the trade balance, the current account balance, gross international reserves, infrastructure like roads, like interchanges, like classrooms, like public libraries, like fish landing sites, like railways, all manner of infrastructure, all available data shows that education, healthcare, and all of these, that our performance as an NPP government in all of these areas, our performance is superior to that of John Mahama's government and the NDC government. But notwithstanding, ladies and gentlemen, and very, very soon, as the President said in the State of the Nation address, very soon we are going to be outdooring our performance with the performance tracker. We have finished the work on the performance tracker, and in the next week or two, the performance tracker will be adored, and you will see all that government has done, every sector, every district, yes. And you can point to Solar Tuna Kalaba, you can point to Bantama, Herba, and you see all what the government has done. And we are going to be outdooring this. And all of this shows that our performance across almost every sector, across, our performance is superior to that of the performance of the John Mahama government when they were in office. But, yes, this is not Green Book. Feel that you will see. But, notwithstanding the clear superiority of our performance, former President Mahama is still going around the country trying to convince people that his performance was better than ours. Just think about this. You take an exam with somebody, you score 30%, and the person scores 70%. And you, the one who scored 30%, you are going around to tell people that your performance is better than the one who scored 70%. What will be done? This is what I call a confirmed mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, another reason why Ghanaians should select Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as president and elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as president is because I have a compelling vision for Ghana. I believe that we need to enhance and reposition the education system towards STEM, robotics, and artificial intelligence, and vocational skills to cope with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution and job creation. So let's reposition the educational system. We need to enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Act and Council, and we need to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act so that we can make sure that government expenditure does not exceed 105% of the previous year's tax revenue. My government will reduce the number of ministers to 50. We will also introduce a new tax system. Our tax system, which we inherited from the colonial period, has failed us. I've looked at different tax systems, and I want Ghana to have the most competitive tax system in the world. And I want us to introduce, like what Estonia has done, a flat rate tax system. A very simple tax system at which every citizen will be able to calculate. And we will have a flat rate tax system which is going to be very business friendly. a flat tax of a percentage of income for individuals and SMEs, which constitute about 98% of all businesses in Ghana, with appropriate exemption thresholds to protect the poor. The poor will not pay up to a certain amount, they will not have to be taxed. So we need a flat taxes. But more importantly, we need a fresh start with the new tax regime that we are going to introduce. And with that fresh tax, we are going to offer a tax amnesty for all individuals and all businesses so that we can all start on the same page as a fresh start. Also, we will have no taxes on digital payments. So the e-levy will be abolished. The Tema port will be fully automated, and we will have a new policy of aligning the duties and charges at the Tema port to the duties and charges at the Lomé port. Our taxes at the port cannot be higher than what it prevails in Lomé. One of the things that we are going to do as far as the port is concerned and the duties that we pay, and I've put in a team to start working on this already. We want to have some consistency and some certainty in the duties that are paid by importers. Sometimes you are shipping a good, and then at the time you are shipping it, you think you are paying so much in duty. By the time you arrive, they'll tell you that the exchange rate has moved and therefore you have to pay a higher duty. We want to make sure that between the time you ship your good and you pay for the good, the duty does not change. And so we are going to move towards more specific duties, like in the spare parts. For example, we're going to have specific duties for 40-foot containers and 20-foot containers, so that they know exactly how much they are going to be paying in cedis when they import the spare parts. In collaboration with the private sector, we will train at least 1 million youth in IT skills, including software developers, to provide job opportunities worldwide. We will also make it very easy for Ghanaians to obtain passports under my government. This is going to be very simple. If you have a Ghana card, then all the information you need for a passport is already on the Ghana card. You don't need to go and apply separately and look for a passport form to apply. Just go online, put in your Ghana card number, pay your fee, and your passport will be delivered to you. This is important because when we were doing the Ghana card, I asked for the Ghana passport form. And I made sure that all the information that we ask on the passport form is also on the Ghana card form. So there's no need really to go for a separate application. We will just use the Ghana card number and make it very simple. We will also implement an e-visa policy for all international visitors to Ghana to enable visas to be obtained in minutes, subject to security and criminal checks. But it will be very simple and all of that. We will look for food to attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. And we are going to reduce the cost of transport through the adoption of electric vehicles for public transportation in Ghana. Before the end of the year, by the grace of God, we expect to start the implementation of this policy. Because when you bring in electric vehicles, the major cost items in the current public transport system are fuel and spare parts. That's what constitutes the major cost. But with EVs, there is no fuel cost and there are no spare part costs. You are largely going to be rid of those. And so the estimates are that we will have at least a 40% reduction in the cost of public transport when we bring in the electric vehicles. And we are going to start this year by the grace of God. We are also going to, as a matter of strategy, partner with the private sector to build large housing estates without government having to borrow or spend on these. The National Rental Assistance Scheme, which is working so well, will be enhanced to deal with the problem of demands for rent advance of 2 years or more. We are also going to diversify the generation mix for our power and introduce an additional 2,000 megawatts of solar power. This is going to be almost half our demand. And this will be done over the next 4 years. Once we do that, you will see that the price of power will come down, and because we are using solar, the reliability and the supply of the power will also be more adequate for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of this, under my government, there will be no import duty on solar panels, so that we can get people moving, and we'll try to encourage also the manufacturing of solar panels in Ghana. We will also move to really license small-scale miners to do responsible mining. A lot of the time, because this sector is not formalized, they engage in a lot of illegal activity. We believe that we can make many of the small-scale miners into millionaires in Ghana if they follow the appropriate licensing and sustainable mining practices. So as long as miners, small-scale miners, mine within the limits of their licenses, for example, no mining in river or water bodies, the practice of seizing and burning excavators will be over. We are not going to move in that direction. We'll open more new community mining schemes, and we'll establish, in collaboration with the private sector, a minerals development bank to support the mining industry, just as we have a Greek development bank to support the agri industry. We will engage exploration experts from the universities and geological institutions to assist in exploring our 7 gold belts. And we will build Ghana's gold reserves appreciably to reach a point when we have sufficient gold reserves to keep our external payments position sustainably strong. And we will also encourage the setting up of special economic zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns such as Aflao, Paga, Elubo, Sankasi, Tantale, and so on. What is very important also is that we are going to introduce individualized credit scoring. All of you here who live in the diaspora know that you cannot get credit if your credit score is bad. In Ghana, we don't have individualized credit scoring. And this is one of the barriers for people obtaining credit. But thanks to the digitalization and the bringing together of all the data from different segments, we are going to be able to start individualized credit scoring in Ghana. I hope we can start it this year. But if we don't start it this year, we'll definitely start it when I become president, inshallah. Another area of digitalization that we have not yet completed is the lands register. Lands titling and transfer. This is so important for the development of any mortgage market, and we are going to put in the effort, and I can assure you our government will have a fully digitalized land registry, and you can check the title of land even from South Africa because of digitalization, because everything will be available, and therefore we will have less disputes over the land matters, which we see a lot of. Ladies and gentlemen, if you give me the opportunity to be president, you will have accountability from me, because I will have a potential 8-year term. John Mahama can only come for 4 years. Once John Mahama is elected, he will go on honeymoon. Isn't it? Yes. He will go on honeymoon, and then he knows that he doesn't have to come for another election. Yes. So there's no accountability. Yes.
No motivation to work hard.
He has no motivation to work. Yes. So for me, I know that I will have to come for another election. Yes. So I'll work very hard. Yes. You will have accountability from me. Yes. I will take no honeymoon. I'll work immediately from day one. And I believe that with that accountability, I should be the preferred choice than John Mahama. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody is perfect because we are all human. But if you place former President Mahama and I side by side, I can say in all humility that I am the better candidate for the presidency of the Republic of Ghana. This is because of my experience, my track record, my commitment to fighting corruption, my qualifications, my work ethic, and my vision for Ghana. I have not been president before, but I want you to give me the opportunity to be president. And I believe I will, by the grace of God, be one of the most impactful presidents in Ghana's history. Ladies and gentlemen, as I bring my remarks to a close, I'm very clear in my mind on my vision for Ghana. There is no ambiguity in my mind on what I stand for and what I want to achieve for this country. I have been learning on the job for the last 7 years, and I am ready and capable to take this country to greater heights. But I can't do that unless we are able to win the elections decisively in December 2024. Let's come together as a team, united in focus, and with a dedicated agenda to work vigorously and tirelessly to secure victory. It is possible. May I charge all of you to stand in unity, with strength and with on one accord, sing our party's anthem as we sign, as a sign of our readiness to fight and stand for this party. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you, and may God bless our
Patriotic party, the elephant. have heard from the incorruptible man, the man who represents the next chapter of our country, the man with bold solutions for the future of Ghana, the man with the mindset of possibility, the man with the audacity of possibilities. And I have no doubt in my mind that on 7th January 2025, our leader and flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, will be sworn in as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. All right, please, I have these few announcements to make. The program continues. There will be photo ops with the flag bearer and leader of our party. To make it very, organized, I'll be calling branches after branches. You remain in your seat. When your branch is called, you come here and the branch take a photograph with the leader, and then you go and sit down and then we call the next branch. You can have all that it is. Also, I want to let you know that after this session, you will have lunch out there. Dinner will be at 7 p.m. here, and also chairpersons and reps of external branches. Right after the closing remarks and closing prayer, you see me in this side of the hall. I have a very important information for you. At this point, I want to invite the South African branch. They have a very important presentation to make to our flag bearer and leader of our party. So South African branch, please, shall you come? And as I invite Dr. Bawumia to also come to the podium, our leader and flag bearer going to 2024 elections. Thank you very much.
Excellency Dr. Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, honorable members present, all observed, our fellow diasporians, ladies and gentlemen. We are here as a branch to make a presentation to His Excellency. Number one, please, Your Excellency, there's an adage in the Zulu culture that says that you cannot be an African and a Western at the same time. If you are an African, you are an African. And the Zulu says, especially if you're a Zulu, and especially in the sense if you are wearing a Zulu attire. The Ese branch, as we use the Ese culture, we live here, we are part and parcel of them. The Zulus are actually the linguistic group by extension, they are like a nation. And therefore they believe that what they wear is the source of their power. They believe what they wear is the source of their strength. They believe that what they wear is the cause of their victory. We believe that as we move and approach the elections, we see it as a war. Zulus always see this as a war. And therefore, we see this election as a war. And this is an attack, a Zulu uniform that we always want you to wear. And all the time remember that the SA branch and our diaspora brothers are behind you. This is a Zulu apparel that signifies victory. This is a Zulu apparel that signifies that you are a champion. We believe that you have already won. And that one is a cap, it is a hat that believes that you are a man of authority. And we believe that as you get to the elections, God is with you, Allah is with you and you have already won. Thank you very much. Inshallah. Inshallah. The next one is the Zulu as they go to war. That is the source of their defense. Anytime the enemy wants to attack, this is the source of their defense. The next is a weapon, we call it a weapon of mass destruction. And that is a weapon that you are going to use to fight the enemy. Thank you. The next is what we want to present, and we cannot send you because we see you as a great man. And therefore, we will call upon the Honorable Gideon Wamo, and we want to send a message to him to be given to the Second Lady, Her Excellency, Mrs. Samira Bawumia. So please, Mr. Gideon Wamo, you are here. Please take this presentation on behalf of our Second Lady, that SA would always remember her, and she should use that as a source of her strength. Next, before we move to the next place, we will give 2 minutes for a photo to be taken quickly so that the Vice President can take his seat before we move to the next presentation. The next is the election committee. If there's any rep here for the election committee, we want you to come. Election committee. Okay, please, we will ask His Excellency to. Okay, so please, we will ask His Excellency to have a seat as we move on to the next presentation. We will ask His Excellency to have a seat before we move on to the next presentation. The next, we would call upon any representative of the election committee in Ghana. Any rep. Thank you, Dr. Antoinette. Please, this is a present from the executive branch to the election committee, the campaign committee. This is a calendar of elephants. And there are 12 elephants in there. The biggest of all is the one in December. And we are telling the campaign committee that time is of the essence. It's a calendar. And that as they check, we are on the 3rd month of the year. So every time they put this on the wall in the offices, they should remember that there's no time to waste. And that time is of the essence. Thank you. The next one. The next one is a presentation to the General Secretary of the party and the Chairman of the party. Anyone to receive for them? Dr. Antoinette, this is a presentation to the Chairman of the party and the General Secretary that we are behind them. The next one. The next one, we call upon Honorable Francis Asensio to take a very important presentation for the President of Ghana. This is a great elephant that we want to give to our Papa. And the SC branch used to say that we cherish him, we always remember him, and we appreciate him. Thank you. The last one is the apparel for our External Director of Affairs, Nash. We have given you a Mandela apparel that you have exhibited great leadership, and we believe that you shall continue to work so hard. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Shall we resume? Thank you very much. The program has not ended, so please, let's take our seats. We will be closing very soon so that we can have lunch. So please, let's take our seats. South African activists, please, can you take your seat?